Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Hey guys, I hope you're doing well today on this Memorial Day. At least it's Memorial Day in the United States, where we remember our people who have been in the military. If you're outside the U.S., that might sound kind of crazy a little bit, considering it's our fault that a lot of wars have happened. When I say ours, I mean the government's, not the people's. The majority of the people never wanted war, just so you know. But I remember all the people that are still alive and the people that have fallen. My grandpa was in the Korean War and my dad was in the Vietnam War. He's still alive. Thank you, God. And my father was in the Navy right before the Vietnam War, the one that adopted me, my adopted dad. So I don't know, I kind of came from a military family, but I'm making sure my kids never go into the military. I am 100% against war, but I do appreciate those that do choose to serve. And it's also a great opportunity to win money and scholarships to go to university. And if you come from a background where you don't have a lot of money, it's honestly a good option. So for some people, but I don't recommend it. Not anymore. I don't trust the government. That might be made clear through, I don't know, practically every single one of my episodes. But anyway, thank you to all of our soldiers that have done a good job, especially the ones that fought against Hitler and whatnot. And, all right, I'm off that topic now. All right, I came across something really cool today. The new ad campaign for the shavers that you shave your face with, Gillette, came up with an amazing ad campaign. And if I was wearing a hat right now, I'd say hats off to you. But I am so pleased with this idea. Their new ad shows a dad teaching his transgender son how to shave for the first time. And the transgender son said, I'm actually happy for the first time. I knew I could get through this without crying. This is very heartwarming. Trans activist Samson Bonkia Bantu Brown and his father were filmed while his father walked him through the rite of passage that every young man has to go through. And since his transgender son was born as a daughter and then had to go through the transition, he's doing this at an older age. And it's one of those rites of passage that every son deserves to have with their father. Neither one of my sons will ever have this because their father died too soon. So my youngest, he had to teach himself how to shave. I think he had to ask a couple men when we're staying in a hostel the first time. I don't even know, honestly, how he did it. He just said, I know how to do it. I'll figure it out. But I was thinking, I don't know who's going to be there for my transgender son when he shaves for the first time. He's still getting his T-shots and he's still in the beginning of it. He hasn't even grown any hair on his face yet. And he's like looking forward to that. I think he's actually looking forward to having like a full beard because he thinks that would be fun. I don't know. It's like I feel like a man inside sometimes, but there's no way in hell I would ever do the transition. I'm a Virgo. I don't like hair in my body. I would be crazy, like full of hair. And I just was like, I couldn't do it. But I really have a lot of love and respect for my son. And I sent him this ad. I said, hey, you know what? You need to check this out. This is really cool. I mean, it's so progressive and it's so inclusive of everybody that has to go through this very basic experience. And I'm just grateful to know that at least Gillette as a company has a heart and they have everybody's interest in mind, not just cisgendered, heteronormative people. So pretty cool. I wanted to also mention I can't believe I'm mentioning the words or the name Jeff Bezos twice in less than a frickin' week. But Jeff Bezos, when he first got his Amazon.com website and then started his business, he has been asking to have exclusive rights to the name Amazon, just to the word itself. I mean, it's already his website. He's already culturally and regionally, geographically misappropriated something that did not belong to him to create a billion-dollar industry. So this is already questionable, but he has been in the news in the past couple days because all of the presidents finally got together and convened, all the presidents of the countries in which the Amazon River flows, the Amazon basin, the jungle here in South America. So the presidents of Ecuador, Colombia, Peru, and Bolivia, and not Brazil though, but all of those presidents have convened and they got together and they had a meeting about it. And they said, you know what? Absolutely effing not. You cannot have our name and have exclusive use to the rights of the word that our people gave to our river. It's like, you can't just misappropriate the name of somebody's land in somebody's famous river and make it your own so you can have a business in another country. Come on. I mean, the hubris involved in this, the fact that he even tried. I mean, it's bad enough he already made the business, but I mean, to try to have exclusive rights so that I get sued if I say the word Amazon in a book? I mean, to what end? Why did he even need that? Oh my God. I hope he does go to the moon. I'm just kidding. So, I don't know. I mean, totally crazy, right? Anyway, in other words today that I have for you, let's just leave that one. It's just too crazy. It's too crazy. All right, another news today. Actually, we are one less than yesterday on the Ascension Symptoms Scale. We are at 98. So if you felt a little bit less hot flashes from the energy pouring in, that would be the reason. I didn't have my Ascension nap today, so hey, that was nice. It's nice not to just randomly be forced to fall asleep because I'm forced to spiritually grow. I actually had my mind to myself today, and I didn't have to take a nap. That was lovely. Oh, God. But, so I don't know. I think we're getting a little bit of a break. Not a huge one, but I'm going to read to you right now the Schumann resonance news. All right. Excuse me. At 10 a.m. UTC time, it says, the understandable pause after the strong, continuous activity of the previous days lasted about 11 hours and 11 minutes. And then there's a happy face. Oh, God, it's so funny. Today, the activity started quite suddenly at 4 UTC to reach let me start that over. Today, the activity started quite suddenly at 4 UTC to reach what until now is the maximum peak at around 50 hertz at 5:15 UTC. For the following 4 hours, the amplitude fluctuated on the 40 hertz threshold. At 1700 UTC time, it says today's activity was concentrated in 9 hours from 4 to 13 UTC. During this period, the amplitude fluctuated between 16 and 50 hertz. The maximum peaks were reached at 5:15 and 10:30 UTC time. So, pretty cool, right? You know, it's like a little bit of activity. We're kind of at 50 hertz was the top today. So again, not bad. I mean, we do need a break every now and again, right? We need these normal days so that when it starts again, we feel like we're going crazy all over again. Like, wait a minute. On days like today, it was a little bit more normal. And it's kind of like, maybe I've been making it up this whole time. Maybe this isn't real. Maybe I'm just fooling myself. And then the next day or whenever it happens again, we'll be slammed with energy again and we'll go, oh God, no, this is really real. Oh, it's pretty crazy, but it's all good. It's all for our own good. Now, after this next break, please let it play out while you go off and, I don't know, grab a cup of hot herbal tea or cacao with coconut oil in it, maybe with a little stevia to sweeten it. It's so healthy for you. You get a lot of magnesium in your hot cocoa if it's actually pure organic cacao powder. I just had mine and I feel relaxed. If you're having twitching in your muscles or a lot of pain, magnesium does help. And well, cacao is the best way to get it, in my opinion, because, well, I just love chocolate. But as you'll find out in a few moments, I'm an adrenal body type, and that means I crave that chocolate. So I always make sure I get it in the most healthy possible way. So on the other end of this, we're going to talk about Dr. Eric Berg, and he's helped tens of thousands of people, possibly more like 100,000 by now, lose weight, especially when they are stubborn cases that can't lose weight. He knows how everyone's body works. So you're going to want to stick around for it, because you know what? Even if this does not pertain to you and you've got a great body and everything's working fine, if you even have one or two inklings of any of the things I'm going to mention tonight, you might be headed this way, and you don't want to head that way. You want to take the good advice, what to add to your diet to prevent all this. And if you know anybody who is significantly overweight, you're going to learn tonight that nobody has a weight problem. No one has a weight problem. If someone is overweight, what it is it's a weight symptom of something deeper that's underlying. And you're going to learn tonight how to uncover that and help your loved ones. So stick around and pay attention to this one. It's a health night, and it's going to teach you how to help yourself and all the ones that you love around you to be healthy. So after this, it's going to be all about Dr. Eric Berg. Hey you, have you ever thought about having your own podcast like me? Was it even a New Year's resolution? For me, it sure was. But as I've been looking into this for months, I was daunted. There's so many questions I had. When I was trying to get this off the ground, I was wondering, how do I record the episode? How do I get it across all the platforms? How do I get my podcast on Apple Podcasts when I don't even have an iPhone? How do I get it onto Spotify and all the other places? How do I get people to listen? And how do I make money from my podcast? How do I edit it? Oh my God, I had all these questions, and I was so confused until I discovered the simple answer is Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and it is ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors too, so you can get paid to podcast. All you need to do is record it. You don't have to go out and look for people to advertise on your show. They help you. So basically what I like about podcasting is I don't have to have a video of myself. You don't know if my hair is dirty or if I'm still in my pajamas or even if I'm wearing makeup. Haha. And it's so easy. I could do this from the comfort of my own home in my living room using this amazing app right from my cell phone. So easy, right? So if you've always wanted to start your own podcast and make money, by the way, doing it, please go to anchor.fm/start. That is anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters that are already using Anchor. Again, that's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast, and I can't wait to favorite you. Woohoo! Let's be broadcast podcast buddies. I'll see you there. Dr. Eric Berg was a doctor of chiropractic care first, but he was always super interested in the nutritional aspects of our lives and how we stay healthy. Because when he was growing up, they did not eat right in his household. His grandmother loved to bake pies and cake, and he just never learned proper nutrition at all. He says himself in his personal story, when you listen to his YouTube channel, which is just called Dr. Eric Berg, DC, he will freely admit that he did not eat a vegetable, not one green vegetable, until he was 28 years old. In fact, he said the only green thing he had ever eaten was pistachio ice cream. So you can imagine how bad his health was. And when he was 28, he decided to face the music because he was facing death, actually. So he turned it around through nutrition and diet, and when he started his chiropractic business, he decided it was more important to help people lose weight. So one day, a woman walked into his office, and she was 325 pounds. And he assessed her, he evaluated her, and he told her what diet to go on, and she went on this to cure her body, and she, after like 30 days, had not lost an ounce. And he's like, well, maybe I need to reevaluate you. And she said, no, you know what? I have more energy than I've ever had in my life. He said, oh, all right. So let's keep going. We'll see what happens. Come back in a month. Well, she stuck to it, and a month later, she had lost 21 pounds. And a month after that, she had lost 36 pounds. So it was the right diet, but it took a while to help her to get going. And it was this patient in particular that made him realize that you don't lose weight to be healthy. You get healthy in order to lose weight. You need to wrap your head around that one for a minute, because we have all been lied to by the medical industry so they can feed us a bunch of poison, medicine. You need to get healthy in order to lose weight. And the other thing is, nobody ever has a weight problem. Everybody has a weight symptom when they're carrying extra weight. it's not a problem. It's a symptom to something that goes much, much deeper. So tonight, guys, I'm going to tell you what you need to know about the 4 body types and how people gain weight, in what part of their body they gain weight, and what are the early symptoms of it before you start gaining the weight so you could prevent it now. So we're going to start. The 4 body types are the adrenal, the thyroid, the liver, and the ovary body types. So we're going to start with the adrenal body type. Now, somebody with this body type will burn muscles when it gets really bad. When it's really, really bad, their tummy will be gaining weight on the lower part of the belly. It will start to sag down a little bit. And, as it progresses, they'll get a huge belly and they'll sag a lot. But in the beginning, it's just a little bit. And the adrenal types have a lot of problems with sinuses, asthma, allergies. They will snore a lot. And if they work out, they will get excessively tired, and they will gain weight from working out, and they will burn muscles. If this one progresses too far, what happens is they start to lose their butt, and their stomach will get very big, and then they'll get like a hump on their back. So attractive, right? But you could always turn it around, and I'm going to teach you how. If this is you, we're going to turn it around, so don't panic. All right? We can help. Now, I am definitely going to recommend the 7 Principles of Fat Burning by Dr. Eric Berg. He just revised it because he's done more research. And it was very good advice in the beginning, and now it's even better. So if you feel inclined, I'm sure he sells this on Amazon as an ebook, as well as a regular book in case you like to actually hold the book in your hand, which I always do. I love that. So basically, the adrenal body types, usually this happens in your body when you are overly stressed and you are actually, usually it's precipitated by a massive event, like a death of someone super close to you, or a pregnancy, or a tubal ligation, or a massive surgery, or you moved, you divorced, major stuff can start you down on this path. Usually this person has a lot of stress on every level, mental, emotional, spiritual, as well as physical stress. The good thing about people that have the adrenal type is that they solve problems, but they solve problems 24/7. That's the bad part. Their minds are constantly going. But as this progresses, they start to have cognitive impairment, and they start to lose their memory. Dementia will set in if you have this body type and you do nothing about it, and you keep going on the way you're going on. That's how dementia starts. So if you're in the beginning stages of this, let's turn it around now. People with this body type will sometimes have knee issues, and their thoughts are rapid and many. They are 24/7 on all the time, and they have insomnia as a result. And all of that leads to things like sinus issues, and then when they do sleep, they snore. A lot of times this person is in survival mode all the time, and while they're sleeping or trying to sleep in bed, they will usually fall asleep an hour before the alarm goes off in the morning, and then they have to get up and go again. And that starts a nasty cycle all over again. So what this type needs, they tend to crave chocolate and salt are the 2 things. But what this person really needs is very gentle exercise, hardly any exercise, just walking slowly in a place where there's a lot of space and they could just look around and their mind has time to relax, let go, release of all the stress. A lot of times people with this body type will go on a vacation for a couple weeks, sometimes a month, and they'll come back real thin, looking really good, feeling great. And then they get back into the rat race again, and boom, they're back on the wrong path again. And they'll gain the weight again. And all they really need is that space to just release, relax, let go. So if you're this body type, just go take a walk every day, just real slow walk. Doesn't have to be strenuous. In fact, don't make it strenuous. You don't want to lose your butt. And you don't want to gain a belly, it's like it ends up being really bad, So people with adrenals also have problems with digestion as well. These people tend to need more vegetables and more protein in their diet. And I'm going to go over a little bit later all the dietary needs for people with the different types, okay? So if you are the thyroid body type, and when you gain weight, you tend to gain it all over your body randomly. It just seems like, your lower legs will get bigger, your arms get bigger, everything gets bigger. And it's kind of an overall even sort of weight gain. It's not just in one area, it's everything. So the thyroid one is when you have too much estrogen in your body. You'll tend to have heavy periods and liver issues and gallbladder issues, and all of this leads to your body's inability to go from T4, the thyroid hormone 4, into converting it to T3, the thyroid 3 hormone, basically. So what happens is that this also creates an adrenal issue, and all of these issues lead to autoimmune disorders. And a lot of times it will lead also to Graves and or Hashimoto's disease. So your foods depend on the source with you. You have to be really careful about what you're eating. It's a huge issue. You will tend to crave bread, potatoes, starches, and rice. And what the problem is with the thyroid body type is that you will not absorb vitamins like at all. So if you go out and get vitamins thinking, oh man, I need to get healthy, and you start taking vitamins, you're just paying for expensive pee because your body is never going to absorb it. You're just wasting your money and your time taking the vitamins. Another problem with the thyroid body type is that you will have a hair loss issue. There was a lady who came into Dr. Berg's office, and she said, so I need help. And he's like, well, all right. She's like, well, I know I'm just a little bit overweight, but check this out. And she takes her hair off her head. And he goes, oh my God, you're completely bald. She's like, yeah, I'm a cue ball. And she's like, the thing is, I never told my fiance, and we're going to get married, and I don't want him to know about this. So what do I do to fix it? So he put on the thyroid diet, and 3 weeks later she showed up and she had little tiny sparse hairs coming in, and she's like, thank God my hair is growing back. And he said, all right, so let's keep going on the diet. And sure enough, within, a few months, she had her hair back and she was fine, and her husband never found out. He said, like, can you imagine the honeymoon? Oh, by the way, now that we're married, check this out. Woo! It flings her hair across the room. That would be horrible, right? So, all right. So anyway, if you have the thyroid issue, your nails will have vertical ridges on them. So look at your fingernails. If you have vertical up and down ridges, that is a sign that you're having issues with your thyroid. Now, the first hair loss that happens with the thyroid body type is the outer part of your eyebrows will fall out. So that's your first hair loss sign, is that you're losing your eyebrows. So you're going to have these weird little bushy eyebrows, but like only on half of your eye, and then the rest will just be gone. So this body type always has super cold feet, and they do sleep a lot. So those are also signs. Let's see, I'm looking at something here. Oh yeah, there's some words here I just can't. I took so many notes I can't even read my own writing. All right, so now the next type is the liver body type. Now, if you are able to lose weight normally and naturally, you just go, I gotta go swimming, I gotta go lift weights or do whatever it is, hop on the bike, go running, and then in a few weeks later you've lost weight, you're not any of these body types. Okay, so these body types are for people who just can't lose weight. Also, though, if I'm telling you something and you're like, oh, I got those problems, darn it, that means that probably the weight gain is not far behind if you don't take care of it now. All right, just wanted to say that. Now, the liver body type can be men or women, but tends to be mostly men. Okay, 80% of the people have the adrenal body type. So of all the people that cannot lose weight, 80% have the adrenal type. But if you're a man, it's possible you might have the liver type. So have you ever seen a guy who has really skinny arms and really skinny legs, but it looks like he's swallowed a basketball, like he's 10 months pregnant, he's ready to pop? Yeah, that is the liver type. A lot of alcoholics look like this. And the reason is they have pretty much blocked their liver from being able to function. And this body type needs less protein, no alcohol. They will have the big belly, the pot belly, or the like the basketball belly type of look. Like, it's really crazy. It's just the rest of their body's fine, but they're maybe not particularly muscular though. But it's just that. And what this is caused from, besides heavy alcohol use, is heavy cooked meat. So meat that's overcooked, meat that's cooked in oil, and eating a lot of fried food and heavy fried, like fried meat. So these people that have this body type will crave deep fried foods and sweets right after. So they'll have to have a lot of fried food and then right after a lot of sweets. Now the symptoms you'll notice in someone with this, they will have liver spots, sometimes on their face or on their skin, on their hands. Back of the hands is a common place. And their feet will be very, very hot. Their feet will always feel hot. They will have really bad breath, a lot of bloating and digestive disorders, and constantly burping. Yeah, that's attractive. I'm just kidding. I mean, yeah, it's horrible, right? And it only gets worse if you let it go. So they will also have sinus issues, but they'll have very dry sinuses. And they will have a hard time with bloating after they eat, and also headaches. But when this body type gets headaches, it's always and only on the right hand side. Why? Because the liver's on the right hand side, and it's all affected. Everything's affected by everything else. So the next body type is the ovary body type. If you're a man, you could take a deep breath and relax for a moment because you don't have this type, but pay attention because someone you know might have it. Okay, So with the estrogen body type, when a woman has this, she will be she'll have like really small waist and small arms, but sometimes really big boobs and very big butt and thighs. She'll have the saddlebags, and she'll have a little small belly. Like a little bit of a belly, tummy, but like just a small one. But mostly her hips and her thighs will be big, like really big. So in order to combat this body type, you need to eat a lot of dairy, all organic, and it has to say non-RSBT or RSBT. No, I think it's RBST. It's the hormones. So you have to make sure there's no hormones and it's absolutely organic, because this body type is very sensitive to this stuff. So this body type will have to eat a lot of cruciferous vegetables. We're going to go over what that is in a little bit. But so when you have this ovary body type, you'll have a tendency to have fibroids, really bad PMS, heavy periods, and you're going to crave cheese and dairy and just a lot of heavy duty cravings, headaches when you're on your period, really intense periods. Now, the problem with this body type, if you let it go, if you go, well, I'm almost 52, I'm almost going to go through the menopause. What happens is when you go through menopause and your ovaries stop working, you're going to turn into the adrenal type, because your adrenals pick up the slack when the estrogen stops. And so that becomes a really bad problem. So basically, let's see, in order to overcome this one, you do need to eat a lot of kale, cabbage, spinach, and your cruciferous vegetables, which is broccoli and cauliflower. You also need to avoid soy big time, because if you start consuming a lot of diet products with soy powder in it, you got to read the labels. In fact, don't buy anything that has a label. Just go buy fruits and vegetables, right? Buy meat, fruits, and vegetables, things that don't have a lot of labels. Make sure it's organic without hormones. But if you have a lot of soy in your diet, you will grow tumors on your ovaries and your uterus. If you're a man and you eat a lot of soy, don't think you're off the hook because you don't have a uterus. If you are a man and you eat a lot of soy, dude, you're going to get boobs and then they're going to have milk come out of them. Yeah, men start lactating when they have a lot of soy in their diet. That's attractive. Not. But don't worry if this is happening to you. If you're lactating, don't panic. If you're a man and you're lactating, don't panic, because we will have the solution for you. I wanted to tell you some of the notes I took during the seminar. I've been researching this for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours today, but I have researched this for hundreds of hours over the years. Dr. Berg is an amazing teacher. Oh, and by the way, he has recipes for every body type. He has recipes that work with every body type. He's got brownies. He's got a recipe for brownies with 0 grains and 0 sugar. And they taste like real brownies. They're very, very good for you. Because actually, chocolate is good for you, just not when it has a bunch of other stuff in it. The cacao powder is very good for you. So, all right, let's see. I wrote something I don't understand. I think he said if you are losing your hair, so losses hit people. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. if you're an adrenal body type, your losses will hit you 1,000 times harder than a serious physical injury. That's what he was trying to say. So like if someone dies in your family, it's like you've gotten into a massive car accident. That's the amount of stress it causes when you're the adrenal body type. That's what I wrote. Like, what? Okay. So you got to keep this in mind, and you got to find a way to de-stress yourself. Now, when you buy vitamin C in a store, and it's just called ascorbic acid, this is only 1/5 of what you would get in nature as far as vitamin C is concerned. And they make it with sulfuric acid and cornstarch. That's how you get ascorbic acid. That's how they make it. Sulfuric acid and cornstarch. Yummy. Not. So it's always better to get your vitamins from nature. And he always recommends to people to eat 7 to 10 cups of vegetables per day. So if you want your ascorbic acid in nature, you have to eat your low glycemic index foods. I think strawberries are on that list. Apples, he says, stay away from. They have 19 grams of sugar in one apple. So it's not healthy, believe it or not. But when you get ascorbic acid in nature, what happens is the ascorbic acid will in the actual cells will be in a circle around these other vitamins that it's protecting. The ascorbic acid is a protector of those other parts. And it protects vitamin J, vitamin K, vitamin P, and copper. And those are things in small trace amounts that you need to be healthy. And if you take massive amounts of ascorbic acid, what will happen is you eventually develop scurvy, which is what you get when you don't have vitamin C in your diet. So that's really crazy, right? I just spent $5 on ascorbic acid the other day, and I'm like, man, I wish I heard of this video before. Could have had that $5 for strawberries. Darn it. Anyway, when you buy calcium, and it's calcium carbonate, did you know that it's literally like a rock that they're giving you? It's literally limestone. Yeah, that's what they're calling calcium carbonate. And this stuff will cause kidney stones, and it cannot be absorbed by the human body. So when you go to buy your calcium, make sure it does not say calcium carbonate. And in order for you to lose weight, if you do need to lose weight, you have to go to sleep and at a decent hour. Probably why I'm recording this early tonight. 98% of all fat burning in your body will occur during the delta state of sleep. And your brain automatically cycles through alpha, I think it's alpha, beta, gamma, theta, delta. Maybe not the beta. I forgot now. Anyway, and it cycles through this 4 times a night. And if your brain does not hit these 4 delta states every single night, you're not going to be able to lose weight, no matter how much you work out. You could go running for hours, and if you don't sleep at night, you're not going to lose a pound, not even an ounce, because 98% of all fat burning occurs during the delta state of sleep at nighttime. So, you could burn 900 calories and nothing's going to happen. It's like really good to know, right? So if you are low on potassium, you are going to crave sugar. So anytime you crave sugar, guess what? You need potassium. And most people go, well, that means I'll just eat a banana. Well, the problem with eating just a banana is this. A banana contains 400 milligrams of potassium. Sounds good. Except everybody needs 4,700 milligrams per day of potassium. See the problem there? You would need to eat 12 bananas in a day. Now, I myself, I could eat 4 bananas in a day, but 12? That's insane. Seriously, that's really, really too much. So how do you get your potassium? You need to eat 7 cups to 10 cups of vegetables every day. And these are the vegetables: spinach, kale, blueberries, or other berries. And if you put them in a blender with some water and you drink that, it's like a lot easier. It's a lot easier. You do a full blender full and you drink half of it now and half of it later. You know, just as long as you drink all of it in one day. That's how you're going to be able to get all the potassium you need. And by the way, when you're holding water weight, this is how you're going to release all that water weight, because you need extra potassium. And how Dr. Berg came across this was he read a gardening book from the 1930s, and this man was having problems with his corn stalks not standing upright, and he tested the soil and he tested the plants, and they did not have enough potassium. So when he put extra potassium in the soil, they stood upright and they were getting kind of bloated, but then all the water drained out. And it just had the right amount of water, not too much water. So he was like, wait a minute, I think people are like that. And he started looking more and more into it. And then he realized, oh, wow, people are not getting enough potassium in their diet. And when you have too much sodium, it probably robs your body of potassium, because potassium and sodium work together. So your adrenal glands control your stress, but also your potassium and sodium and all of your electrolytes. So if you are the adrenal body type, you obviously need more potassium. I know I need more potassium. I'm on a diuretic that robs my body of potassium. So I have not been able to find potassium. So I'm glad I found this information. I'm going to try it for myself. I'm going to try it. I think a spinach, kale, blueberry shake sounds amazing, actually. It doesn't sound terribly appetizing, and yes, it's dark green. It's a dark green drink, but it tastes very refreshing, surprisingly so. So keep an open mind if you've never tried something like this and you're about to try it for the first time. You don't need to hold your nose and go, ew, ew. It's so healthy. It's so good for you. And once you take a sip of it, you're going to love it, especially because the blueberries will flavor it for you. Now, the thing is with water is if you keep drinking water and you drink tons and tons and tons of water, what happens is you deplete your body of electrolytes. And when you deplete your body of electrolytes, you can actually kill yourself with too much water. I heard this when I was in Michigan. I'm like, that's just BS. That's not true. And yeah, actually it is true when you're depleting yourself of electrolytes and you're robbing yourself even of potassium and sodium and all of the good things that you need. Now, an electrolyte is a mineral that turns, when it hits water, it becomes like electrical. And that's how we feed our electrical system in our body. Our nervous system literally is electricity. It's electricity inside our nerves, inside our body. So it's very important that we have a balance of everything. So only drink water when you feel thirsty. Don't drink 8 glasses of water a day. That can really harm your health. That can be extremely bad for you. So when you feel thirsty, drink water. If you're not thirsty, don't worry about it. Now, when you have a calcium deficiency in your body, you're going to have all the itises, the bursitis, the arthritis, anything, phlebitis, whatever. All the ones that have the itis at the end, which means inflammation, that is a sure sign of calcium deficiency, and you're going to have twitching of your eye. Most specifically, your right eye will twitch more than your left. If your right eye twitches a lot, you need calcium. Weird, right? But don't get the calcium carbonate. Make sure that your calcium is plant-based, because all plant-based minerals are 10,000 times smaller than the minerals that people normally use. So if it's plant-based, that's how you're going to be healthy. So speaking of electrical system, do you guys know what a hot flash is? Have you ever had one? If you're a woman of a certain age, you have, but men can get them too. A hot flash is really just a short circuit that overtakes your electrical system for a couple of seconds. If you have too much estrogen, that will block your thyroid hormones, and your metabolism, your hormones and your metabolism will change with age. So these are other things I learned from his webinar. So there are 3 hormones that we have in our body that will block the burning of fat and actually make you store fat. These 3 hormones are called insulin, cortisol, and estrogen. And there are 6 hormones that will help you burn fat. But instead of focusing on the fat burning hormones, it's more important to focus on the 3 big ones that will block you from burning fat. Because if we could help those become in balance, your body will automatically kick in the 6 hormones and you will burn the fat easily and automatically. So, for example, if you have one small cookie, just a little tiny cookie, just a little one, it could be one with just a little bit of sugar in it, not a lot. It will take 72 hours before your body is able to burn fat again. 72 hours, that's 3 days. You won't be able to burn fat for 3 whole days. And if you want to go on these diets, right, for the liver especially, it will take 3 years to completely regenerate your entire body with diet. But it's possible. It can be done. In fact, with all of these, I would say do it for 3 years. I did this for almost 2 years, and now I've got to redo it. I'm at the point where I'm going to redo it. So what you need to do is there's 3 things you need to do. Find your body type and start your diet for this. And create your health every day. Make the commitment to yourself. You just have to decide. Maybe put a paper, write on a piece of paper and tape it to your wall before you leave your house every day. Or put it up in your bedroom so it's the first thing you see, and you say it out loud. I create my health every day. Put it on your mirror and lipstick. Guys, you could go buy a lipstick. Go buy a purple lipstick or a green lipstick. It doesn't have to be red and weird, right? Just do something that will remind you that you deserve health and you deserve to create a healthy body every day. So, kale is extremely healthy for you. It's good for everybody. Kale has over 600 carotenoids, which are like antioxidants and phytonutrients. I mean, really they're phytonutrients, but people like to say antioxidants. But in kale alone, it has those carotenoids that have the trace minerals that will help your body get back into the correct balance that it needs. So if you are going to start and you don't know which body type you are, it's recommended that you start on the adrenal diet. And if you still feel tired after a week, then you could go to one of the other diets to see which one. So if you start on that and that feels good, keep on that for a while. But if it's not working, then you got to go to the next one. Usually if you're tired, though, it means that you need more protein. And if you crave sweets, it means that you need more vegetables. And that means you need potassium. When you're low on potassium, that's when you crave sweets. So with the adrenal diet, and most people, 80% of the people, are actually the adrenal body type. You need to eat high amounts of protein every meal, 3 to 6 ounces of protein per meal. And you have to eat high fat. And by fat, we mean, of course, cheese, yogurt, nuts. I mean, don't go slurping down a bunch of vegetable oil, especially don't cook with soy oil, by the way. But just, nuts, yogurt, cheese, that kind of thing. Now, don't eat nuts if you are having the liver type of body, because nuts will give you worse indigestion. You'll start burping up more. You'll just have all kinds of issues. When you're on the adrenal diet, do not eat any cruciferous vegetables. Kale is okay. Spinach is okay. Celery, carrots, onions, whatever, but don't eat Brussels sprouts. Okay, this is what a cruciferous vegetable is. Cabbage, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower. So with the adrenal diet, you eat 0 cruciferous vegetables, but you eat 7 cups of vegetables a day. You eat 3 to 6 ounces of protein per meal. So 2 eggs and 4 pieces of bacon, or Really, that's what the adrenal diet is. Or a 4-ounce steak. So make an 8-ounce steak, cut it in half, eat half now, and then later in the evening, eat half. So 7 cups of vegetables is needed with this diet, though. And spinach, kale, do the juice thing I told you earlier. That will help. Now, if you're the ovary body type, you need a high protein diet, same as the adrenal, and a high fat, but you get your fat from organic dairy and kefir. And make sure there's no RBST in it. Cruciferous vegetables, you definitely need the cruciferous vegetables for the ovary type, because cruciferous vegetables will absorb extra estrogen in your body, and they're anti-estrogenic. Your body will stop producing so much estrogen. And you'll start to lose those saddlebags. You'll start to lose the hips, when they get out of control, right? So when you are the ovary type, never, ever, ever, ever eat soy. That's like death. It's really bad for you. Liver, if you are the liver body type, you want to eat very low protein, 7 cups of vegetables. Low protein means 3 ounces per meal. So like 1 egg is okay. 2 pieces of bacon and 1 egg is okay. But nothing more than that. You have to have low fat though. So, drain your bacon. I don't know. Or maybe just don't eat bacon. Maybe only eat 2 eggs and that's it. Low protein. And low fat. No peanut butter, no nuts. Definitely, you do want to eat a lot of cruciferous vegetables, and you do need 7 cups of vegetables. You might also need to get an enzymatic supplement, such as bile salts, B-I-L-E, bile salts, to help you digest your food. And that basketball belly, a lot of it's water weight, it will go down within a month. You'll be fine. Don't panic. Stop drinking, because that's a huge part of it. And if you're going to drink, don't drink at night. When the sun goes down, that's when you stop. Thyroid. If you are thyroid, you're going to have the slowest metabolism out of all the body types. So for that, you need very low protein, that only 3 ounces, no more, low fat, and no cruciferous vegetables. You want to supplement with iodine or sea kelp, especially if you do eat cruciferous vegetables. If you have broccoli, you're going to want to supplement it with the iodine, because that will help balance that out. But don't eat cruciferous vegetables. Again, spinach, kale, celery, carrots, all of that is really good for you. So again, if you're tired, you need more protein. If you crave sweets, you need more potassium. And to get the potassium, eat your vegetables or drink your kale spinach shakes. If you do that every day and you find that you are having a lot more energy, then you're going to heal yourself, and you don't need to pay a doctor to practice on you anymore because your diet is perfect. So, I don't know. That's all I got to say about that, actually. I love you guys. I hope that you found this helpful. It's a lot of information to absorb in just 45 minutes, but there you go. Please check out the 7 Principles of Fat Burning by Dr. Berg. Go check out his YouTube channel, Dr. Eric Berg, D.C. That is his YouTube channel. He is one of the sweetest men ever, and get on his mailing list for certain, because you're going to want his healthy recipes. He's got some amazing recipes. And when he says you want high fat, he means butter, baby. So you might want to listen to him, especially if you're one of the body types that needs butter. He has a couple bread recipes that are just amazing. No grains, but really excellent. So made with high protein almond flour. So he's got fantastic ideas that I know will help probably save your life, actually. So anyway, that's all I have to say about that. I love each and every one of you with all my heart. Please feel free to write me at metaphysicalsoulspeak@gmail.com or send me a message at anchor.fm/metaphysical. All right, I'm signing off with peace and joy and the high vibes of the holy fifth dimension. Until next time, guys, peace. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.